A number of channels that I follow have absolutely exploded in the last year. Some of them going from 0 subscribers all the way up to nearly 100,000 in just 4 months, which is crazy when you think about it. And others have gone from very few and really just accelerated the growth as well. So what I wanted to do is see what they're doing that we're not. Now, obviously, some of these guys have unique personalities, they're great at presenting, or it's not their first channel. And one in particular that grew really, really quickly, it's not his first channel. He's actually grown multiple channels. But for that reason, we should be really looking at what they're doing and trying to break it down. Because if they've done it before and now they can do it even faster, then they're definitely doing things that we're not. They know something that we don't. So I wanted to break it down, and I think I've come up with 5 main reasons that they've been able to accelerate the growth of their channels. So these are things that we want to be focusing on moving forward so that we can do the same and hopefully be the ones who blow up in the next year. The first point is that they focus on one crowd. They stick to one group of people and they really just try to please that group of people. You need to remember that on YouTube, these are viewers. People that are watching your videos are real people. And if you're thinking that everybody's going to watch everything that you create, it just doesn't work like that. And I know that we're always worried about getting pigeonholed. We don't want to be stuck to one niche because it's going to kill our creativity. And it's fine if you want to jump around all over the place and be an influencer, if you will, and create, say, diary-style vlogs or whatever else, where it's more about you as the individual rather the audience. But if you want to grow quicker on YouTube, then you need to focus on the audience and pleasing that one group of people. It's just the way it is. It's not to say that you can't, branch out later on as you get bigger. But if you want to grow quickly, then you need to niche down to blow up, as they say. So I see this a huge amount and very, very often. And all of the channels I'm going to be taking you through today, they literally just did this. They niched down and then they blew up. And reason number 2 is that they stuck to one main format. And that means that they created similar videos over and over and over. And they also created similar thumbnails, followed similar patterns for videos that worked. And they just repeated these formats in almost like, in some cases, a robotic way, which is them breaking down into exactly what works. And it can, again, be another reason, and many of the points I'm going to share with you, as a creative individual, you might think, wow, I don't know if I want to be that regimented. But you can still take elements of this and understand why it works. So if we take, say, Dan the creator here, now he has basically absolutely exploded in the last 6 months. So if we go 6 months, 92,000. So all of his views, this channel literally exploded. The oldest video 5 months ago. So he's done incredible things. Now, again, this is not his first channel, so he does know exactly what he's doing. And I think he's done faceless channels before. So he understands how to churn these channels out in a very unemotional sort of way. And what he's been doing is all the same format, talking head format, reading a script, and then adding some B-roll and some graphics. And that's it. Just a very simple format, always the same type of video. And that's it. But then also modeling what works, not just for him, not just videos that work for other people, but he's taking exactly what's worked for other people and replicating that style. He knows he's replicating within this niche, within the YouTube niche. He knows that these types of videos are what people are used to watching. So although he may not be bringing in as much personality, he's following a format that works for other people, but then he's also following a format that works for him as his channel's grown, and he's replicating that success. So if we come all the way down to the bottom here, we can see, okay, this video style here with this thumbnail, it actually worked pretty well for him after his first video. So you can see he went from a very different type of thumbnail to this, and then he stuck to that and tried other ones. Now, I recognize similar formats from other channels. I recognize this one from another channel that I know. We've all done a Mr. Beast style one to see if you can tap into his authority. So he's been testing different formats here. So he tested this one, and then he did another one. It looks very similar. And if we come up, again, another shorts hack one. Simple trick, obviously worked. Try to do it again. It did work. I've seen this format on another competitor's channel, competitor, if you will, someone else in the space. So he's taken what's working for other people. I've seen this on another channel. Again, he's taken that what's working for other people. Here, look, his format that worked here, he's doing it again. And this time it absolutely exploded for him. So we've got this one here. Again, it's replicating before and after, following similar formats on and off. Let's see if he does that again. Dead Alive, on and off. He's again doing this similar format. And also because this one, it works so well from here, he replicated it 3 times. So he's replicated this type of video 3 times. And it's just focusing on YouTube growth, nothing else. So he's focusing on a few keywords and just going on and on about YouTube growth and monetization, YouTube growth and monetization, and then introducing a few other videos. And I know he wants to branch out into different business areas later on, and I think he's going to do absolutely fine. He's going to smash it because he knows how to break these things down into very simple, regimented formats. But again, it's a format that works, but maybe it's going to remove some of that emotion for you. And then we've got some of that creativity, should I say. And then we got Daya. I absolutely love her channel and style. And she, again, has been following formats that work. When something works, she doubles down. And she's really exploded last year, and now she's growing even more this year. So she's been getting, let's say, the last six months, 66. So, yeah, probably about 100. And if we say in the last year, maybe doubled that, then most of her subscribers and everything else really have come from the last sort of 12 months. So she's done absolutely incredible work again. And she's got a lot of authority in her videos, but she follows a style that I absolutely love. And that is, she basically, again, a sort of talking head style, but she uses slides. So whereas I like to talk from bullet points, the Dan, pretty much I can tell that he likes to talk from a teleprompter. Some people just like to absolutely wing it and, doing their vlogging style of videos. Then what she's doing in the middle is something in between. So teleprompter and then bullet points and winging it. And then she's following slides. She creates slides that she speaks to. And she doesn't necessarily show the slides on the screen, but it just makes it easier for her to present to the camera because she's just reading the slides and she just can follow through that and speak quite naturally, like you're having a conversation with a friend, sort of almost webinar style where you're doing presentation but just following slides like you would in a webinar or talking on stage or anything like that. And that makes her videos much easier, and she can then even use some clips of the slides in her content and just use those. But she's also got an editor, I think, and that she's doing different graphics and editing styles as well. She also is modeling what works again. We see her with a book here. We see her with a book here. We see this format. So again, books. So when something works for her, we go to popular, she's replicating it. So we can see this type of thumbnail, this type of video, screenshots, and then books, whiteboards, books. So she follows what works and she replicates that and doubles down on it. So whatever you're doing in terms of your format, you want to be sticking to one format and repeating it. And now this kind of, for me, is a bit of a difficult one because I actually like to mix up my content and be outside on the beach and walking and doing other things. And this can work, but I have noticed that me being in the studio, the videos tend to perform a little bit better. And that's probably because people maybe feel a bit more professionalism around it or educational when I can share the screen more. So maybe it just works a bit better. So I think you can do some videos outside and everything else, but you want one main theme if you want to grow quicker, one main format that you stick to. So let's say 80% of the time doing this type of format, and then maybe 20% of the time mixing it up. And that way it could act as like a pattern interrupt to help you grow even more. Now, on a sort of bonus point, I wanted to bring in another thing that I've actually seen as I've been going through this. And that is that they follow some trending topics. So if we go into the likes of Dan, we can see what really blew up for him was the most popular ones were going to be shorts, anything to do with shorts. So he basically blew up. His biggest video was on the topic of shorts. And another couple of channels in the YouTube area, anybody that talks about shorts is generally going to get more reach. They're going to get more views. And the same was for Robert Benjamin. Now, he's been going a bit longer. He's created a lot more content, mainly around the short side. What he does is he teaches people how to grow shorts channels on TikTok and Instagram and everything else. And he's been exploding. Now, he creates a huge amount of content, but we can see that his long-form content isn't necessarily getting the same amount of reach. But all of his most popular videos are generally about shorts and TikTok stuff. So it's all about shorts. And that's what he's focusing on. And the same goes for Jack Craig. His most popular ones as well. And he's literally did 12 videos and got over 100,000. So he's incredible at long form, and yet he teaches short form. So if we go into his most popular, it's all about shorts again. So 2 million views. Shorts. So everything about shorts is growing faster in this particular niche. So it's good to look at what is trending and what is doing very well in your particular niche. And if you may not necessarily want to speak to it, like I don't like shorts, so I'm not going to speak to it. So it means I'm not going to tap into that trend. But there are probably other trends that are working that I could definitely tap into. So you want to look for those trending topics to see if you can give your channel a boost, because that's definitely, for many of these guys, what gave them the boost and allowed them to grow faster. Reason number 3 is your unique selling point. So your sort of USP that makes your channel different and your videos feel special. Now, when I like to talk about the vlogging style and being more authentic and everything else, and what we kind of teach our members in the community, which I will link to in the video description if you would like more information on that and to get more contact and training directly with me. But this kind of vlogging style and being on camera and being more personal and not so scripted, this allows you to bring out more of your personality. And what I see from most of these channels is that they bring out some of their personality. It's a bit more laid back because, say, Daya, she's kind of pushing her hair out of her face. She's adjusting her glasses, which I've realized I even do sometimes. You're bringing in this sort of personal style. You're using your hands more. You're looking away more. It doesn't feel so robotic like you're reading a script. So by doing that sort of personality and bringing in stories of your life and things going on with you, you can make your videos more unique. That means your videos will stand out for a particular audience. If they like you, they will come back for you and your content. They will potentially watch your videos above someone else's because they like you more. And in a way, YouTube is a slight popularity contest. You do have to be a bit different. Now, that could be your personality, or it could be just the style and the way that you do things. So you can do it in other ways, but you need to find a way to stand out a little bit, and that will give you an advantage. Now, it's easier said than done. I think the shortcut is being more authentic, but otherwise you can talk to amazing things you've done or whatever else, that you can bring in external things that make you more interesting and more unique as well. Reason number 4 is they get clicks. They focus on their video packaging. They spend some time making sure that they are replicating what works. So coming back to Dan again, obviously he made this thumbnail like 3 times throughout, and then he's followed the sort of color theme. So he started with a pink one in this theme. It didn't do that well. He started modeling what other YouTubers were doing and the colors they were using. He basically tried, I can see he's tried a number of different thumbnails from different creators out there and packaging that was working. I count 1, 2, 3. I recognize at least 3 different styles from different channels within this space. So he's tested what's going to work best for him, and then he's found that it's more this sort of gray dark style with big chunky writing and maybe a couple of simple graphics. And then you can see that most of his thumbnails start to follow a kind of trend, and he keeps replicating and repeating what formats work the best. So let's say this one worked, then he did it again. And again, this one worked, he did it 3 times. So you replicate what works for you and for other people. And they focus on the title and the thumbnail to make sure that they're getting clicks, because you have to get new audiences. Your subscribers are probably going to click on a video just because it has your face in it. So if they're connected with you, they like you, they're probably going to watch your videos regardless. What you want to do is make sure that your thumbnails and your titles are still reaching a new audience, because you want to still go broader. We don't necessarily want to go viral, but we don't want to always be speaking to just our subscribers and just our relevant audience that is being suggested on YouTube. We want to reach out and get more people. So they are focusing on their video packaging and really thinking about the psychology that goes behind it. So this one really inspired me. This is how I came across her. And it's a topic on a video I was actually speaking about, which was the dip in a book that I love. So she spoke to this and related it to her. So she probably got some authority from that book, but then also a sort of hookable thing, because she said she nearly quit YouTube, which was going to get a lot of people to try and understand what it's about. So it's worth spending the time on that to understand the psychology, model what works, but also repeat what works for yourself. And the last point, number 5, reason number 5 that I think all of these channels were successful is that they just kept going. They literally did not stop creating content. So if we go back all the way, I can see that she's basically never stopped creating videos, never taken a break. And whenever you take a break, your channel dips. Maybe you get burnt out. This is why I'm always saying that you need a buffer. You want a scheduled buffer of content. So if you need to take a week off or you get sick, you can take that time off. All of these people religiously did it. If we look at Dan, he is non-stop, latest videos, non-stop since doing this. He knows that he needs to create a couple of videos every week religiously. So let's say 2 days, 9 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. So we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos in a month. So he's basically uploading pretty much almost a couple of videos a week religiously, non-stop. And the same here, if we come here, the latest for 2 days, 2 weeks, 1 month, 1 month. Okay, so she's doing 1 video a week, but the quality of their videos as they go up. I think in the beginning, you're going to have to do a lot more. You want to do at least 2 because fewer of your videos are going to be successful for you. So you want to find a way to be consistently uploading, say, 2 videos, but make sure that's manageable. If you can only just about manage 2 videos, then maybe do 1 or do 6 in a month. So you're doing a sort of 1.5, but you're also able to maintain that buffer so people know that videos are always coming out. So it really is important to remain relevant to your audience. And I think building up that buffer is the safest and easiest way to do it. Otherwise, you're going to potentially get burnout. So there you go. Those are the 5 reasons that I think these channels absolutely exploded. Now, if you would like my help growing and monetizing your channel, I will link to our community in the video description. Otherwise, I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you inside the next one.